Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teagle. With me like always is the man who has officially saved cinema, Noah Bailey. um, so, Shang Chi is out. Noah hasn't seen it because he always sees stuff late, but it's fine.
True. This is true. I've not been on it lately. I gotta get on it. That's on me. I have not been on it. I gotta get. I'm trying.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. But if you haven't seen it, I personally highly recommend it. It's Marvel. They don't miss. You're gonna like it if you like Marvel.
Only great things. So yeah,
it's one of the movies that like even if you aren't really a Marvel movie fan, I could easily see things in it that like it honestly doesn't really feel really like a Marvel movie anyway. So like if you just want to give it a shot, even if you're not a big Marvel fan, I would still suggest it. But because it is a Marvel movie, despite the pandemic still, being here, and despite Shang-Chi not really being a very popular, well-known character at all,
nope,
it still smashed expectations at the box office.
Nice.
It probably was helped by the fact that it released over Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
But it's 3-day from Friday to Sunday. It made 127 million worldwide.
Ooh.
Which is, pretty good.
Yeah, like that's pretty, especially considering COVID and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even released in all territories. Like China just isn't releasing it as far as I can tell. Yeah, China has a thing against showing Asian American lead actors in their movies. I don't know why.
Political.
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. By the end of Labor Day, like Friday to Monday, it had made 90 million domestic, which is the highest Labor Day weekend 4-day tracking for any Labor Day weekend of any movie ever.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it was the highest since Halloween Kills back in 2007. So yeah, I don't know why more movies don't release over Labor Day, but they just kind of don't, I guess.
Yeah. When you think about it, that kind of does make a ton of sense because it's like summer's kind of over, but it's still something to do.
And then as of today, it has made over 100 million domestic, making it the fastest movie during the pandemic to cross 100 million.
Nice.
Yeah, Black Widow did it 100 million domestic in 6 days. Shang-Chi did it in only 5.
Nice. So, okay.
Yeah. And because of that, Shang-Chi 2 has already been greenlit.
Hey!
Yeah. Again, not that it's a huge surprise because like it's a Marvel movie. They're all interconnected. Like it was, even if it did poorly, I'm pretty sure it was still gonna be at least relevant in the future. But
yeah, but I mean, it's always nice to hear it. You got to celebrate the victories when you get there. So
yeah, so that is fantastic. Like I said, a lot of people were afraid that this movie would just bomb, and apparently some insider source was telling the press that Disney was potentially thinking about delaying their other projects if Shang-Chi doesn't do well. So if this hadn't done well, then Eternals and potentially Spider-Man could have been pushed out of this year, which would have been annoying. Because I mean, the Multiverse of Madness would have got pushed even further, and then Thor: Love and Thunder would have got pushed even further. That would have been just
everything runs behind, but we are good.
Yes, we are good.
Marvel knows what they're doing. We are good. Everything's on schedule. We've got Eternals is early November, right?
Yep.
Early November.
Spider-Man is still slated for December 16th.
Yes. Remember earlier this year we were like, that's probably not going to make it. They're going to have to bump it off. We're still on target. We're all the way to September, still on target. So
yep. And apparently Sony is also completely on board because even though recently we were talking about there being rumors that Venom could potentially be delayed into January, it's actually now been moved up.
Yep. Full 180.
October 1st this year.
Yep. Right in
Which-
time for Spooktober. That's a good way to kick it off.
Mhm. And I've always said that I thought October was the right month to release a movie like this. Like not only was the first Venom released in October, Venom just has that vibe where I feel like it just either like it works best in October. So
Yeah, it's like kind of a spooky, but not like a, it just has that vibe. Yeah.
yeah. So that's cool. It is going to be rated PG-13, but that was to be expected.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying, especially when you have Carnage. It's kind of in the name. It's a little. I feel PG-13 potentially kind of suppress everything he could do, but
yeah,
I'm sure they'll make it work.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably gonna have to do like off screen a lot of stuff, but I mean,
Yeah.
and yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll have an R-rated cut that'll release 2 years later or whatever.
4-hour R-rated cut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The 4-hour exposition and
it's the same movie just with a little bit of blood.
Some like capture packet looking.
like literally the only reason BVS, the Ultimate Edition, is rated R is because there's one F word, which you can get away with in PG-13 anyway. And then there's a little bit of blood in some places. That's it.
It's just like, just to have it, just to say, oh, it's rated R. Like, okay, but if you don't use it, no one cares. Versus other movies, they're like, wow, is there a rating worse than R? Because I didn't need to see that. Suicide Squad, like 5 minutes in. Oh, guy just got ripped in half. Okay. Oh.
So yeah, thank you, Shang-Chi, for saving cinema. Like this kind of leads credence to the idea that it's very possible that if Black Widow hadn't been released simulcast on streaming, then it probably would have done better at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
But because COVID was still like, I mean, it's still around, but like it was for whatever reason, even though we really shouldn't be as lackadaisical as we are right now. Back in July, it was like we were even more iffy than we are now. So I think more people were scared of going to the theaters back then than they are now. But and not to mention Black Widow made over 500 million if you do include the Disney Plus numbers. And we'll see how much Shang-Chi makes, but apparently it's tracking to do fairly well. So
and that's all that matters.
And again, for a character that no one knew about before he was announced to be in the MCU back in 2018, 19, whenever.
Never heard of him.
Nope. I said he wasn't in any of the Marvel shows, no games as far as I know. Like,
but that's how it is. I mean, who knew about the Guardians of the Galaxy before 2014? I mean, and now it's like it's weird if you don't know who Rocket Raccoon is,
Yeah. Like I could easily see in 5 years it being weird if there's like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance or a Marvel v Capcom or like some random Marvel mobile game and Shang-Chi isn't at least like on the poster,
Right. But no, I mean but that's good. Like that's how you're supposed to make characters. Like the characters, they hit the ground running. It's like they've been there the whole. Like now, it's like Black Panther feels like Black Panther's been there the whole time. Black Panther, most people didn't even know that was a character until a couple of years ago, and now it's like, oh yeah, duh, like obviously.
Yeah. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, superheroes is the way to go. The superhero era I thought was gonna be start declining. It's anything but. So that's
like it's I don't want to spoil anything, but just like the movie just like that after credit scene just shows me like Marvel's not done yet. Like they're planning for like again 10 years in the future. They like Shang-Chi is already established like you're an Avenger now, like you are gonna be around for a while. Like it's so good.
It's gonna be great.
Going back to Spider-Man for just a second, it's been confirmed that Spider-Man No Way Home will be a 2-hour 37-minute movie.
Down to the minute, okay.
Which I think is longer than Infinity War. Let me check on that real quick.
I think that is right. I think Infinity War was like 232 or something.
229.
Ooh.
This movie is going to be longer than Infinity War.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be the
That's gonna
second
be-
longest Marvel movie.
So I feel like that's either going to be real. Then again, there's going to be a lot going on in this
There's
movie.
a
So
lot
probably
going
makes
on.
sense. That's probably
Yeah.
going to be a lot. So it's because there's probably going to be a whole arc with like, oh, everyone knows who I am. Then there's the whole like, who
Mhm.
knows what's happening, multiverse stuff. So like, that's probably like almost 2 movies worth just kind of thrown
Mhm.
together. So
It's longer than The Last Jedi, and that's a long movie.
but also that's a long movie because you're dreading it like 10 minutes in. But still, yes, that's a very long movie. And I feel like it's gonna be because I remember thinking Infinity War was gonna be long, and then when it was over, I was kind of like, oh dang, it's been 2.5 hours. But then Endgame, it was kind of the opposite because it was like, man, we've been going for a while.
Mhm.
Like, not that it was bad, but it was just like you felt like it was a 30-minute difference, like give or take.
Yeah.
So, like, get it, but like
even on rewatches, like Infinity War just blows by. But
Yes!
like I like it. I like how it's paced, but
'Cause
both of them.
I think it's just because like it's going the whole time. There's not really any down moments. We're always doing something important. There's so many like Infinity Stones where it's like, okay, we're here. Okay, we're here. Okay, we're here. Okay. Oh my God, he's dead. Oh God, he's like.
Whereas Endgame does have some slower moments, so you kind of
Mhm.
feel it. Especially like the first hour is
Yeah.
kind of slow, but like kind of meaningfully slow, which is
Yeah.
fine. But
Like, yeah, it's a lot of exposition, but it's like once the ball gets rolling, it really gets rolling, and then it just like, boom. But yeah, this is a lot. I'm excited because again, I just love Spider-Man in general. I like this Spider-Man, obviously, with everything that's gonna be happening. I'm all for it because it's gonna be insane.
Yep.
So yeah, like never seen anything like this in movies. So like, it's
Yeah, I'm still banking on Ned turning evil because why not?
why not? Because there's not like because other thing, why not? Maybe everything just goes wrong. I mean, who knows, man? I mean, this could set up so many other things, and like, I mean, there's no way of knowing, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Kind of going on that. Have you caught up with What If?
I have. Dude.
Spoilers. Like I love how the show, like the first 2 episodes are like, here's just some fun fan fiction. Like, what if like basically, what if this character was this other character? What if these 2 characters swap places? And then the 3 episodes after that, it's just like, yeah, we're just gonna be sad forever.
Yeah, you know what? Zombie apocalypse, because why not?
Hank Pym just kills all the Avengers just because fine.
Yeah, like it was like I remember thinking, I was like, okay, how is this happening? Because I was like, all right, how do you kill Hulk? Like I was really like, how are you gonna kill Hulk? And then he died. And I was like, okay, wait a minute.
I was thinking like some kind of like psychic user, like the leader, maybe turn like he's not even like that big a deal in the comics. Like maybe he's a big deal in this universe somehow. But no, like he was teased at the very end of Incredible Hulk, so maybe that was moved up a little bit in this timeline. But nope, it was Hank Pym being Yellow Jacket. Sure,
which again points for like misdirection because again, no one ever called that. So like,
and like essentially this all happened because in this dimension the Wasp was actually utilized earlier in the timeline, like when she should have been in the MCU. Like the Wasp should have been around from the beginning. But so because that was the case, and then she died, Hank Pym goes crazy. Like, okay, sure.
I mean, kind of, but sure, why not? Kills all the Avengers because he can. Being small can do that, and then like
Doctor Strange episode was also fantastic.
That got wild, like really, like it was so emotional too. It was just like, I know that's kind of been a thing before where it's like, I want to go back in time to say, it's the very like kind of Flash or like other stuff. Let's go back time to save this person, and there's nothing you can do about it. But here it was like, really, dog? I was like, oh, dude, Steven, my guy. Like, I'm so sorry, but like, and then he has to fight himself because magic.
Because
why not?
It is kind of funny though that Christine is kind of my least favorite Marvel love interest. Like her scenes from Doctor Strange are just kind of like there,
I don't remember a single scene with her at all.
However,
And
it's
I
Rachel
felt bad.
McAdams. I should love this, but I just kind of she's kind of there. Like, I don't know.
I completely like I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like I knew the character was Christine, but it was like I don't remember anything about her. I don't remember any of her lines. I don't remember.
I've seen that movie 3 times. Before this episode had come out, I couldn't even like try to guess what her name was. Like I literally would have just called her Rachel because that's the actress's name. I would not be able to think of anything else.
Rachel, no,
yeah.
But no, it's just like, man, that's rough. And like, granted, like even in this episode, she didn't really do a lot, so it kind of like reinforced. Yeah, okay, that's a forgettable character, but like,
I mean, she died a lot.
A lot. Like I thought it was weird how like no matter what he did, she just like randomly died. I was like, wait a minute. So like if I don't get in the car, she just has like a heart attack? Like what, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah,
like,
it's almost as if like there was some outside force like causing that to happen. Like there's one theory that the guy who shoots her in the diner like is a different timeline Doctor Strange doing that to like preserve the timeline or something. Like,
that'd be crazy.
Sure.
I mean, sure, why not? Yeah, but I was just kind of like, all right, like I don't know. It was just different because I was just kind of like, that makes like, because it kind of, if you think about it that way, it kind of makes Doctor Strange, like I know this is an alternate story, but it would kind of make Doctor Strange's like origin kind of feel kind of pointless. You know what I mean? Because I know this is different than how it happens, but if it's kind of like, that's kind of the same thing. Like if he didn't crash his car, then he would have, his hands would have got slammed in the door. Or if they didn't slammed in the door, then his hands get, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of like, do you really have an origin, or is it kind of just whatever happened to happen? Like that feels very like, I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, I really do hope that aspect of what are they called? What is her dying called? It was like some like point in time. It wasn't a critical point in time. It was like
it was like a critical
that.
point, something like that. I forget the exact wording, but it was something like that. It was like a key point. I don't maybe. I don't remember, but
yeah, like I kind of hope they delve into that like idea more in the future, where it's like not only like we already established that the TVA has been kind of like, or the that dimension's Kang was kind of like driving the timeline in a certain direction the entire time regardless. So it's like, I wonder if essentially these key points in time are thing where it's like the one who remains has this like end goal in mind. He's just not really sure how they get there. It's like something needs to happen for Doctor Strange to lose his hands, or something needs to happen to Doctor Strange in order to get him to be Doctor Strange. Because like I wonder if in that timeline of that episode, if if he crashed his car, Christine didn't die, but he did break his hands, what would have happened then? Would Doctor Strange the movie would have happened normally?
Maybe, but maybe not.
Because every single time he crashed or something happened, he didn't break his hands, even though like that was, like it seemed like a pretty easy thing to happen.
Right.
Yeah, that never happened in this timeline.
Interesting.
So like, I don't know.
Just replace. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, an absolute point that I read. I looked it up. That was what it was. But yeah.
Good name. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so wild because it's just kind of like, one way or another this just happens, and it has to be today, and it has to be at this time, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I was just kind of like, wow, like even with like the time stone and everything, you can't really like work around it. But I
Yep.
mean, kind of
It's
makes sense, I guess, because again, it's important. Yeah, because it's essential for Doctor Strange to be, to beat Dormammu, etc. But
yeah. So that also kind of retroactively proves some people's like, because some people were like, why in game, like why didn't they just go back in time to stop Thanos from getting the Infinity Stones? Like why didn't they just go for the head back then? It's like that. I guess that him snapping was an absolute point. So
yeah, because I know I'm pretty sure I said that earlier. I was like, yeah, why not just why you wait till after? Just jump him before he gets there, and then that's it. But then again, what do I know? I mean,
yeah.
to be fair, they'd be like, time travel doesn't work that way. Why? Because that's not how the story was written.
Jump him, get a time stone, make your own time.
Yeah, make your own time, go back, fix it. I mean,
Yeah.
theoretically, they only needed to go back to one place. Just go back to 2012. Just like, okay, there's the Avengers doing our thing. Hey, Ancient One. So, story time.
Yeah. I do kind of feel like that episode, the Doctor Strange episode, kind of got me a little confused as to what exactly Marvel at this point is considering a universe, a reality, and a timeline. Because the Ancient One split Doctor Strange's soul essentially into two separate timelines in this dimension, or in this universe. Yet her doing that didn't create a separate multiverse within that timeline. Or I'm even getting confused just saying it out loud. Like I don't know exactly, because in Loki it was essentially the way they were framing it, it's like if a timeline splits, that creates two different multiverses, kind of, or so they need to get rid of one of them to keep the timeline sacred.
Right.
But she just did that like it was nothing. Or is it like because they were going to converge at some point anyway, it's fine?
Well, kind of like an Endgame thing where they like her and Hulk are talking about it, and it's like, how she's talking about like they can't, if you take this out, it branches out, but then when Hulk puts it back in later, back where it was supposed to be, and it kind of comes, it's like a river, it divides, but then comes back together. So that's kind of like what you said.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. But also, I mean, that's way too much.
There is also something in Shang-Chi that also kind of messes with this, because like there's one point where they literally go through a portal to a different dimension in this reality, but like it's still in this universe. And like there's definitely trying to stop something from getting out of their little pocket dimension into the real world. But like, is it also like the quantum realm? Like, is that just like a sub dimension in this dimension?
But the like in this also has properties that can be used for time travel. So it's really just its own thing, or is it? It's like a sub area. It's like a buffer area between two different dimensions, or like is it like a?
And all these dimensions in one universe?
And there are other universes that are being given. Oh my god! And comic books.
Yeah, pretty much.
There it is.
Like I said, the end of Shang-Chi, like the 10 rings are gonna screw everything up. Great. So yeah, I'm loving What If so far. I loved the zombie episode. I felt like essentially just doing like, we're gonna essentially do a zombie survival, just a very like kind of generic zombie survival story with superheroes, and like thought it worked very well.
Yeah, I will say this: Vision made no sense. Even though he's a robot.
We've already established multiple times neither of them know how to deal with pain very well.
Like Viz's logic is terrible.
Yes,
For like
because he couldn't bring himself to kill Wanda, so he decided to feed her other people.
But like that's so horrible. Not to mention probably like I know he's like free thinking, but that has to be he has to have some kind of conscience where like that's against your main prerogative. And like how do we go to the like, how do we go to the ship of Theses to like this logic? Like I don't even I know
yeah,
like I don't know, I forgot what it's called.
Like especially since like Vision, since Vision was born already having the ability to wield Mjolnir, I feel like, can that be revoked? Because I feel like that should revoke it.
Well, Thor lost worthiness, I guess, so I guess it could be revoked.
So
I mean, it's different, but I mean,
so actually pre-Thor 1, the worthiness wasn't actually a thing. Odin put that spell on the hammer after he banished him to Earth.
I gotta remember how that works. But I mean,
he like whispered into it and like threw it.
Yeah, like threw it. Has he who loves the
yeah. Which implies, because he's, I thought this like kind of hilarious video about like why Hela was able to hold it, because he says he who wields the hammer has the power of Thor, because it doesn't specifically, he didn't say the one who wields it or he or she, so it simply said he. We never see any other female character try to lift the hammer before.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
no, that's not happening. I mean, that's
they didn't make it very clear.
That is true.
Black Widow didn't try in Age of Ultron.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, you probably have to be specific with these incantations, but at the same time, if we were just walking around like Maria Hill, just threw around the middle, I'd be like, okay, sure. I call hacks. Like, no.
Like, I would love that.
I mean, it'd be weird. That'd have to be like a blooper reel. That'd be like a what? Like, no, it'd be like, I don't care if she is a Skrull. There's no way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I do really appreciate how this What If series is essentially like kind of being like, there have been several times, I only have one example in my head right now, but there have been several times in this What If where they're like, I feel like, or the writers were like, this is something that, though small, I feel wasn't explored to its fullest in the MCU to this point. So we're just going to kind of throw it in here just because. Like in that zombie episode, Vision was able to like, send out just like very like small amounts of mind power to stop the zombies. Up to Endgame, I guess Infinity War, since he wasn't actually in Endgame, up to Infinity War, the Mind Stone only really let him shoot lasers. That was like what's just like,
yeah,
didn't really do much mind stuff. Even though that's
felt like he could, like, lasers didn't really feel like an upgrade. It kind of felt like he probably should have been able to do that anyway.
Yeah, like I guess it also let him phase through stuff, but I still feel like you could make an android that does that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, is that really the Mind Stone?
I guess I don't
know, because it seems like it's mostly just advanced vibranium. Like you could just be like vibranium machinery. Can just do
literally, if you told me vibranium could do that, I would believe it. Yeah. Vibranium is basically magic.
It can do anything else. I mean vibranium can, like, oh yeah, don't worry, we have bullet. He's shot through his spine. Oh, we have vibranium, he'll be fine. Oh my gosh, like this is like, oh my god, like, yeah, the metal that's vibranium. It doesn't get detected. You know what I mean? It's like vibranium basically, is magic, but like not. But to be fair, I think science to the unexplained basically is magic. So I mean, in a way, it's
because like kind of going on that, Pym particles, straight up magic. Like they just literally they can do anything.
Yes, which again is awesome, but still, it's funny because we have actual magic, and then it's like other stuff that's also kind of magic, but then it's like No, mine's
not
better. No,
real
mine's
magic.
better. It's like, guys, we're all basically magical. It's fine. Like, it's
Mhm.
okay. Like, between the superpowers, the like reality manipulation, the actual magic, and like
Mm.
whatever, you know what I mean? So like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I just love how the writers were like, Vision has the Mind Stone, just let him do mind stuff for once. For once, let him do mind stuff. Because even Wanda's mind powers apparently were innate to her anyway. The Mind Stone just kind of unlocked them more.
mhm.
So like it wasn't even really the Mind Stone giving her those abilities, especially since Pietro just had speed. Like, you know, that's not really mindy.
Yeah.
Because I was always the assumption as of Age of Ultron, the Mind Stone gave them those powers.
Mhm.
Like we find out in WandaVision that those two were probably, for lack of a better term, mutants to begin with.
Right, and just kind of unlocked it.
Yeah.
Which
So
what actually would make a lot of sense if that's how they wanted to go with it.
yeah.
They'd have to get it back, but I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I love how just all the different just creative ways they've been just all the cool stuff they've been doing with What If. I want so much more of this.
yes, it's been awesome, and like, and I love that. Like, honestly, it really makes me happy that for the most part, the voice actors are just the actors, which is kind of
Yeah.
like, it's a small thing, but it does a lot.
Yeah, but even when they're not, like you get Josh Keaton to do Captain America.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's like as long as it doesn't like take you out of it. Because like the Avengers game, I feel like it kind of took you. Granted, they didn't look like it either, but like this one, it's kind of like you're in it. You're like,
like
oh,
you can have Laura Bailey, Nolan North, and Troy Baker, but like I just yeah, and like I said before, Laura Bailey has played Black Widow before.
mm-hmm.
It just didn't feel right at this point. Just I don't know.
We're just so used to the characters as they are. It just kind of it just doesn't.
Yeah, this felt off, I guess. Although like it has also been interesting watching What If, and like, you know, it is refreshing watching these like the main MCU actors voicing their characters, but they're not voice actors. You know, a lot of them seem to not be phoning it in, but like not necessarily like, you know, not necessarily being like what's the word, like they're not used to voice acting. They're used to, you know, acting.
Right.
So like, you know, people like Mark Ruffalo and what's her name, Captain Carter, Haley Atwell. Haley Atwell, her name. Yeah, like they did fine, but like you can clearly tell it's not as if they were acting. I think they could have gotten more out of them, because they're just voice acting. Probably, you know.
And their voices felt like a lot like lighter, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of like it just felt kind of like you guys need like, you know, speak into the microphone.
Yeah. Although every time I can never remember his name. Hawkeye. What is his name?
Oh, Jeremy Renner?
Yeah. He was phoning it in. He hasn't had many lines, but he was phoning it in. All that being said, Sam Jackson killed it.
But Sam Jackson has been a voice actor.
He has been a voice actor before. Yeah.
Where is my super suit?
Like, it's just so funny. Like all these different actors, all the different other characters either have their actor like sounding just kind of off from how they normally would, or just from actors entirely, and then Sam Jackson just being
which is so weird.
Love it.
They are them and they don't sound right, which is so weird.
Not necessarily bad, just not exactly right.
It's weird. It almost feels like, you know, like a knockoff when it's not. It's literally them.
Yeah, literally like Rachel McAdams and Benedict Cumberbatch for the entire episode. Like they got decent voice matches. It was them the whole time.
Yeah.
Same with Tilda Swinton. Like I could have sworn all three of them were voice matches. Nope, they
Nope,
same
that
people.
was actually, yeah. But yeah, like you said, you can definitely tell who's been a voice actor before and who hasn't. But again, I mean, it's one of those things that I think I don't think it comes intuitively, especially if you're used to. It's kind of like the difference what a lot of people say with like, playing guitar in real life and then you play guitar here, it's like weird to you because it's like so counter, so I feel like it's probably like that.
Yeah, like I know, there some people that are really into stuff like Street Fighter or like Mortal Kombat and whatnot, and then they try to play Smash Bros. And it just doesn't work, or vice versa.
Yeah,
like
not the same.
Yeah. Like you think is like it should be fundamentally the same. Like you are still playing a fighting game. You are still acting the same character you've been acting for 10 years. It just doesn't quite work right, which is fine. This, I don't know, like a part of me kind of wishes that they had just gotten, voice actors to voice all these people, especially since it is animated, it is different dimensions. It's not canon, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But still, they're still doing a good job, not like, trying to downplay it or anything.
Yeah. And they got Chadwick Boseman before, unexpectedly. So I mean, that's always a plus.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's going to be in, I think 2 more episodes after
Something
this
like
one.
that.
So
a lot. Yeah. Which how many are there in What If?
I think 8, maybe
like
10. Because I know there's still the Gamora Thanos episode,
right?
And the Vision Ultron episode, which might be the same episode, or I'm not sure.
Maybe. Let me try to figure out what this.
And there's also the what if Iron Man had met? What if Iron Man had met Killmonger?
Right, which that one I'm really excited for. But yeah, 9 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got 4 more. So yeah.
Oh yeah, 4 more.
Okay, so you said Iron Man, Killmonger, Gamora. I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah, and the Vision Ultron one, which might be different.
Yeah. So like if Ultron got to Vision or whatever. Okay, yeah, that probably would have been bad. No.
Which does mean that What If and Star Wars Visions are going to overlap at least for 3 weeks. So.
Oof. Oh yeah, Star Wars Visions is almost here. Dude, God. There's so much cool stuff happening. You just forget other cool stuff is also happening.
Still, I wish it was different days. I would love to have What If on this 22nd and then Star Wars Visions on the 24th, my birthday, but it's fine.
True. Yeah, it's like, why not? Yeah, because like, why not like have dedicated days? Like I know we've had this conversation, but it's like it makes it more clustered and like less likely that both are going to do well. I mean, not that they're not, but it's like you can see it's going to be harder to see like, is this success being limited because of this, or is it just not that great or whatever? Like I think Star Wars Visions is going to get less appreciation than it should because it's going to be like even though anime's mainstream now, people are going to be like, I don't like that anime stuff or whatever, and it's awesome. And everyone's like, okay,
what is wrong with you?
Yeah, like, dude, hey man, like I don't know, man. Like,
have you seen Demon Slayer? Like, oh my god.
Bro, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, I'm actually currently watching it right now. Me and my brother are going through it right now.
Very nice.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I know that, and you know that, and cultured people know that, but they don't. Not everyone knows that, and that's okay. Because I mean, the same thing about animated stuff in general.
Yeah.
I mean, even What If's probably not getting the same. I'm surprised actually. Because I didn't think anyone was going to be talking about it, but people are talking about it. Like, it was like at work, people are coming to me. They're like, oh man, did you see this? I was like, good. Good for you guys. Like, good for you guys. You guys you're cultured. Well done.
Yeah. It is interesting that What If and Visions are going to overlap at least a little bit because they are kind of similar ideas. Which I'm okay with. I want more of this.
It's a good idea. And again, like, I mean, it's a good idea, but the overlap is just weird because it's just like, it almost feels like I need to pick. Like obviously I can watch both, but it feels like I need to pick one because like you know what I mean. Like if I have a break and I only have like half an hour, okay, well I'm kind of far in What If, but it's the first episode of Star Wars Visions, so like
Yeah.
but should have been for keep it Friday, because they could have Star Wars Fridays, Marvel Wednesdays, perfect. But no,
Yeah.
we compete with ourselves. Make life
Loki
hard.
was so successful. We need to have everything on Wednesday now. It's like,
I mean, well, that's what I mean. But it's like it wouldn't matter what day of the week you have it on, as long as it's just like Loki could have been on a Sunday and everyone would have, you know what I mean? Like it does not matter. Like it would have been good anytime. But it's just kind of like just organizing your stuff. It feels kind of lazy.
yeah, but I'm gonna watch it all regardless.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are we still gonna watch it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But there you go. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of stuff, I'm definitely gonna watch. Another nerd news. So that Injustice animated movie that was announced like a month ago is coming out on October 19th.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
And yeah, that trailer, like DC animation is so good. Like that trailer, like that animation for that movie is like ideal for what I would want a DC animated movie to look like. Like essentially, I've said before that Young Justice is like essentially ideal. Essentially, this is imagine the Injustice video game, like that, like just kind of imagine that style in your head. Now make that a show, like make that essentially fuse that with Young Justice. That's this movie, and it's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. You know, and like as it should be, very rated R. Like it's Injustice, so it's gonna get rough. It's and it just seems awesome because it's like this is one of those stories that probably should have been a movie a while ago, especially when the games were like at their peak. But I mean, no one's complaining either.
Yeah,
like better late than never.
It is a little, I don't know. Yeah, I'll say disappointing. Disappointing that we're getting this Injustice movie now that evil Superman is super oversaturated.
Yeah, this is
like, with Justice League again, Invincible, The Boys. We've had
Goku Black. I mean,
yeah.
I don't, that kind of counts, but I mean, I'll take it. I mean, yeah, like we've done the whole, Earth's greatest defender is actually, surprise, the bad guy.
Yeah.
And can wreck everyone. So it's kind of like, I get it, but kind of in a way, Injustice kind of, I won't say did it first, but they kind of
popularized
the more, when they did it, it was still original, so it gets a pass from me. But again, the timing doesn't feel ideal.
Yeah, which is why I feel they probably should have done this closer to Injustice 2, which came out in 2017, before the Justice League was supposed to come out, and it did, but not really. But still, there was an evil Superman in Justice League 2017, so
for like
they were already kind of starting that.
Yeah,
not
that
well.
Yeah, that got the trend. Yeah, because I mean, especially because it's like this is the time. It's like this is definitely kind of how we thought like the Avengers video game kind of missed the initial like Avengers boat kind of, but like not that Marvel stuff wasn't doing great, just like how DC stuff's not still doing good. It's like, but this specific window for this story feels kind of a year or 2 or 3 late, So
yeah.
But
and I think it still will be fantastic. Like I've already said, the art style is amazing. I was afraid when I first heard this movie was happening. I was afraid that it would essentially be in the newer DC animated universe art style. And not that I don't like that art style. I think those movies are very good. It's like so far of the ones I've seen, haven't had a chance to Long Halloween because they won't let me.
Seriously.
But I was just kind of afraid that if this was like the fourth movie in that timeline, it was moving a little too fast. Like you have Superman, uh, Justice Society of America, Batman, and then other dimension stuff. Like I feel like if you're trying to create a cohesive, multi-movie animated universe, that's kind of too much too soon.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that it is in this very unique, good art style in its own separate thing, more movies should be in this art style, please. Like, I don't know, just yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's true because again, I think it does more respect because again, Injustice is kind of, I mean, it's kind of a sub franchise kind of. So it's like, I like that they gave it the respect to kind of give it its own thing. And it probably, they might make multiple movies out of this because there is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's comics for days of the Injustice storyline, so like they could really.
Yeah, there's comics for days. There's 2 games. I don't even think this movie is necessarily going to go into the entire story of Injustice 1. So
yeah,
you could probably get multiple movies out of the first game / comic tie-in.
Yeah, and then the next game and go from there, kind of. So yeah, maybe this will kind of be its own series of movies, along with kind of like Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and all those things, kind of going, kind of simultaneously going, which is fine with me because again, like they're multiple projects. It's not like they don't have multiple comics going on at the same time ever.
Exactly.
Like,
which is like. Which is why I kind of have always questioned why DC needs to make like a cinematic universe in the first place. Like not every single, like you said, not every single comic connects with the greater universe. There are some one shots. There are some things that are just like they had a retcon later and no one cares. Like they just do their own thing.
Yeah.
So having Injustice just be its own thing, you can make other movies in that, like in that art style, in that franchise, or you can make other movies kind of tie into that are just like alternate dimension stories from that, and you can also have the other animated universe going on over here. You can have a third one, fourth one, whatever. Like just make the stories you want to make, and like this essentially what's happening here is kind of like what I would have wanted out of the Death of Superman movie, even though I liked that movie, because it was tied in with the with the New 52 animated universe. I felt it was kind of limiting in a way, and then they had to kind of force future movies in that franchise to kind of react to it because Legion of Superman is not very good. So and like I don't know, because they're allowing themselves to make this Injustice movie in its own little quadrant over here in a very good art style with fantastic voice actors all around, just doing its own thing. I think that just shows me that DC, at least on the animated side, DC knows what they're doing with they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I've never really been the animated side. I've never really been worried about. There's been a couple misstrokes, but I mean, like for the most part, they've been for a while now.
But even then, like the missteps weren't really the animated movie's fault. Is more so the comic they were adapting's fault. Because like Justice League War and Throne of Atlantis were like just straight adaptations from the New 52, and the New 52 isn't very good. So like what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially that first one was kind of rough, but yeah, I mean, and again, like that's all they can really do. And again, from there, they got progressively a lot better, and so like, man, this thing is dope. This is the best, version of this I've ever seen. Like,
and like I said, I don't want to like talk bad about the Death Superman movie. I did really like that movie. Just like as a standalone movie, I think it was very well done. I feel like, but because it was set in this multi-movie universe, I kind of felt more that I didn't really know this Superman well enough to care.
Yeah.
Even though he's been in multiple movies, I was like, I don't know him well enough yet, even though I've seen him like 4 times at this point.
Yeah, he needed his own movie, and also they they changed his personality during the movie. Like that was
Yeah.
kind of the thing that bothered me because it was like in the first couple of movies, he is a totally different person than he is in this movie. Which
Yeah.
by the time this movie starts, he's the right personality, but he's trying. But like you don't get points for that because like like if you have to like by itself it's good, but the build up towards it doesn't really add up. It
Yeah.
annoys me.
Whereas if it was just its own thing, like it's clearly its own universe movie, I can kind of accept, I can just assume this is the Superman from the comics. Like it is just the one I know, as opposed to this one I should know but don't. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, I agree. Because again, that was kind of weird how he kind of like. Granted, by the time the movie was going, I was like, okay, this is my guy, Superman, finally. But it was like, oh no, he's dead. Like,
yeah,
kind of wish I had a little time to enjoy the character I like. Yeah, because even like in pretty much every movie up to that point, he seemed like a very different. He seemed like the New 52, like very like kind of annoying, like cocky, like not Superman, like like almost kind of like almost like that Zack Snyder style, which was kind of just like, oh, we're doing this again. Like,
yeah. Well, technically doing it first, since I think the New 52 came out in 2011.
I think so, something like that. But
yeah,
I mean, it was. I think it was like. It was like.
I think Flashpoint was 2010, so that would check out.
Yep, 2011. You're right. Oh. Ha, we do read comic books. Eat it, sir. But yeah, like I mean, yeah, I still really like that Death of Superman. Like that's probably one. That's in my definitely probably top 3 in that universe, probably for me. I think because that was it was really good, and I liked how they had the Justice League, but it was obviously still about Superman. But like you get to see the Justice League get wrecked, kind of, and you're like, okay, we actually need Superman.
Like Wonder Woman. You also got to see the entire Justice League at his funeral, which is important.
Yeah, like people care.
Not just 2 of them, not even in their costumes, standing off to the side. That's not. It's fine. I'm not mad. Yeah, Injustice, the movie. Looking good. Yeah. It is a little weird that they're not just getting the same voice actors from the game to do the movie.
But the voices.
But the voices they got were still very good. So
yeah. Because I feel like I feel like Kevin Conroy's like semi-retiring kind of because like one, we're going on 30 years, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
Yeah.
Is that 30, that math's right.
30 years this year.
Yeah. So it's kind of like I see he's trying to pass the reins to whether it's whoever, and we know that the people they had like Troy Baker can do a great job. You know what I mean? Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Bruce Greenwood can do a good Bruce Wayne. So
again, they've been these characters before. They're not they're not the official name you associate with the character yet, but they can kind of be that next chapter.
Yeah. Yeah, and the guy, the Joker in this trailer sounded very good. Like not like any Joker I'd heard before, but he still I feel got the essence of Joker down very well from what I could tell. So
very maniacal, but also like scary, but not frightening scary, like nervous scary. Like, and the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman in this trailer just sounded very good. So everyone, it looks like a great DC movie, and I can't wait for things to go crazy.
Exactly.
But and like you said, the animation, I mean, it looks straight up like sculpted out of a comic book. That scene, like the scene where Wonder Woman's just like flying when they're talking about Lois, like looks straight out of a like it looks perfect. I was like, that is like the best shot of Wonder Woman I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. So like, I'm for it.
Yeah. And like I said, I appreciate how they kind of took the style, like the kind of general style of Injustice, and still like if you had played Injustice, 6-7 years ago and someone just showed you this trailer without actually telling you it was Injustice, I feel like you could still kind of tell that's the Injustice Batman, that's the Injustice Joker, Superman, etc.
Right.
It's just like the way, just kind of how they look is still like kind of that unique style of Injustice.
And it's like the subtle costume differences and like stuff like, like how like Superman's cape when it comes around like touches the symbol versus just being up here, or like, it's just like the smaller stuff, but it looks really good.
Yeah. Also,
excited.
I love the idea of the Joker being kind of the main antagonist of a movie, but it's not a Batman movie, like Joker, like he's essentially going to be Superman's villain in this movie. Like I think that's very interesting.
I mean, spoilers forever how long he's in it actually, but I mean, he's probably not going to be in it too long, but at the same time,
end of third act is already I mean,
it's something tells me something he's going to get. He's going to have something. I can't think of a good punch.
You might have a little might have a little stomach ache by the end of it.
I was thinking heartburn, but I was like, nah, that implies he like rips, like that implies like.
I guess it was technically off screen in the game, so.
I mean, I think it was a shadow where he like punched through his like stomach or something. Like,
okay.
Well, yeah, I don't remember how it was in there. I know in the comic it just like they're like, no, show it. Like they don't care. They don't care. He's like laughing. Now that's what I call a punchline. I'm like, really?
That's good. It's very good.
Like, I mean, it's solid, but like, that's your dying breath. Like, come on, like, where's like he's just dying. He just gets Patrick in the background. Boo. But yeah, this is gonna be really good. I don't know when it's finally gonna be available on not Disney Plus, HBO Max, but whenever it is, I will watch it.
Yep,
for sure.
Something that I do know exactly when it will be on HBO Max: Matrix Resurrections.
This is true.
Got a trailer today. It's actually might be the last movie to be both in theaters and on HBO. It's coming out either on or near Christmas.
Yeah.
The Matrix movies are very weird, and this trailer is like, we're just more Matrix stuff. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much like, we learn anything? Not really. We learned that the Matrix is still crazy. So like, that's cool.
Yeah,
like
we
it's
learned
got
that
Keanu.
It's got Keanu. It's got someone who's probably Morpheus's son or something, because that wasn't Florence Fishburne.
No. But I mean, hey, it's the Matrix. I mean, we're gonna have the cheesy slow-mo. We're gonna have the like, crazy weird, like, now we're flying fight scenes and whatever. You know what I mean? It's gonna be
people talking really slow yet philosophically, whereas like if you're not paying attention, you won't understand what's going on. If you are paying attention, you won't understand what's going on.
There's that little gray area where you don't quite get it, but you understand.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be. But yeah, it's gonna be one of those movies that you're gonna just go into the theater and you're gonna have to buckle up because you don't know what's gonna happen. That being said, that I'm definitely gonna go see it.
At least see it on HBO, so why not?
Exactly. It's the Matrix. Like, come on, everyone. Like, everyone except Will Smith thinks it's a great idea. But I mean, like,
oh yeah, because he was originally cast but turned it down. That's funny.
Turned down that for, I think it was Wild Wild West, which bombed horribly.
One of the worst movies ever made.
Bombed horribly, and then Keanu was like, "Oh, look what I found!" And then boom. Not that Will Smith needed another blockbuster franchise, but I mean, he was. Yeah,
it is very funny that Keanu at this point, because he was filming John Wick 4 at literally the same time, he had to keep the hair, so he's not gonna have the Neo hair in this movie.
Which I kind of like better, honestly, because to be honest, it'd be kind of weird because he hasn't looked like that in so long. He wouldn't even he would kind of look different. Almost,
yeah,
you know what I mean? He's had the long hair for as long as I can remember.
We also So like it's Matrix. Well, like so what I'm about to say might not actually make sense, but that's fine because it's Matrix. We don't know, technically speaking, if anything in that trailer is actually in the same Matrix from the original trilogy. So there's a chance that in the Matrix that this Matrix movie is going to take place in, his hair just is like this.
So you think that wait,
Is in the real
like
real
the
world,
real,
which is
yeah,
probably
like the,
just another Matrix.
wait, so you wait, so you honestly yes, but I mean, so you think in the real world he's got that? Well, I mean, do you think enough? How much time do you think has passed in the? Has it like has
Probably
it been
30 years that happened in the
Yeah, but
25
the amount
however
of
long in
time
the yeah.
what is this? Is the last Matrix movie like
2003.
2003? That's like almost like, jeez,
18 years.
old. Yeah, we're getting old.
Huh, look at that. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I mean. So it's been, you think it's been like 18 years in the movie, or is it kind of just like, hey, like, want to go in back in, like, like I don't know.
I don't know, like
I don't know, but
because I kind of hate Matrix 3 a lot. Like, but
you're not the only one, I'm sure.
Yeah. Like one scene from that movie, like they're in the real world and Neo holds up his hand and just like stops a missile or stops something. It's like, oh, he has powers in the real world too. Like, oh, okay. Like, so is this a separate Matrix, or do people in this world just have powers? Never explained. They just move right on.
Nope.
It's like, okay. Sure.
Because they reached the point where if they explain it, they would somehow retcon themselves and make it worse. So they just don't explain anything.
So I am
all the interpretation.
fully hoping that this movie actually does kind of like explain that away, being like, well, hey, Neo, spoilers, Neo and Trinity should be dead anyway. So like we gotta somehow not necessarily retcon, but like make that make sense too. So I don't know. I don't know.
No idea, honestly. But at the same time, I mean, who knows? I mean, it's gonna be a Matrix.
Yeah, it's gonna be like. Sorry, go.
No, I mean, it's gonna be a Matrix movie. It's gonna be wild, but we're all gonna see it. One, because Keanu. Two, because it's a Matrix movie, and who doesn't want to be part of that? Because last time we were all kids.
Yeah.
And third, the memes. Like,
yeah.
This movie's gonna make minimum like 3 solid memes.
At least 3. Yep.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm all for it, of course. Especially around Christmas time too. This just feels right.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if it wasn't on HBO, I maybe wouldn't see it right away. Like I would get around to it eventually, but like because it is just on HBO, and I should still have HBO then, because assuming Young Justice is still slated to come out in October, I should still have HBO to watch that. So like, yeah.
I need to make a list of everything because I forgot about that too.
Yeah. Which DC Fandom is coming out.
Yeah. Next
month, October 19th, maybe.
Something like that.
Actually, which is the same day as that Injustice movie. It's either the same day or like around that time. Yeah, we should at least get a sneak peek, hopefully before then, because I don't think it'd be kind of weird if we got a teaser or a trailer or whatever, the first episode released at DC Fandom with no promotion before then.
But, yeah, I mean, it'd be weird. We'd still watch it, but I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so like, because that's the thing, it's like we don't really need to. We want something, because but then again, it's probably not going to tell us a lot. It's probably just going to be there's another time skip, all that coming, and then like
at least a year, maybe 2,
yeah, something, and then everybody freaks out, even though we all know that was going to happen anyway, but we're still freaking out because we see it.
Yeah. I am thinking at some point before season 4 comes out, I want to do like a prediction theory thing where like we both just like throw ideas, like here's what we hope happens in season 4, like either based on what happened in season 3 or just things that we want to happen in season 4.
Yeah.
because, like I said, I
Also-
recently rewatched all of Young Justice, and the
Okay.
last episode alone hinted at like 4 different things.
Yes.
So-
Freaking Legion of Superheroes. Just
What?
casually. Like, wait.
You
Like,
just-
I remember, like, I was so like, wait, huh?
like it's one of those things, like I had, the Legion of Superheroes of the show back in 2007, 8. I
Yeah.
had forgotten about it entirely.
Yes.
And then that
The
dropped
rings. And then you were just like,
happened, but like I was like, I've seen that symbol before. What? Oh my god.
like I saw it and I was like, nah, it has to be something. Like I thought it was gonna be one of those things where they repurpose something for something. I'm like, I thought it was gonna be like these are for the team or whatever. But I was like, no,
No,
or
like-
maybe I don't know, but like I assume we're going where we think we're going, which is ridiculous. But at the same time, we got everybody else. Why not just bring in every other character in existence?
Plus, I think the what do they call the Furious Five? I think that could be a decent villain for Young Justice in this season. Like, why not? Like,
I
you already got the light to deal
I
with.
think
Why
that's
not?
Kung Fu Isn't that Kung Fu Panda?
Oh, you're right. Fatal Five.
No, it's a Fatal Five. You're right.
It was an F5 something.
I mean, it's the same idea, but yeah.
Like,
Also quality content, by the way.
oh yeah, absolutely. That Kung Fu Panda is
Absolutely.
fantastic.
But yeah, the Fatal Five, which was a good movie also.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that could be a thing. I know, because I mean, they could have this whole. Because surprisingly, with everything we've run into with like Young Justice, there hasn't been any like specifically Brainiac related that I can think of.
Yeah.
And like obviously Brainiac 5 is a big part of the Legion of Super, so maybe that kind of will do something, or maybe Brainiac's already happened and they just kind of assumed that things happen off screen. I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, a lot of stuff's happened. I mean, Barbara's just in a wheelchair at the start of the 3rd season.
Yeah,
like,
I just don't know.
Okay.
I just don't know if like, I don't think aliens are going to be a major factor anymore in Young Justice because Vandal Savage threatened all of the universe to be like, hey, don't touch the earth. I have the world. Don't bother. Plus, he has Darkseid at his bidding just to help him.
Yeah, which is kind of like, which is kind of like, he's playing us, but at the same time, it's like, that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird.
So I don't know if Brainiac is like in the cards for this. At least not like this timeline Brainiac.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
I could easily see something from the future coming.
That's what I mean. Like, is it gonna be like I know Brainiac 5 is a good guy, but like maybe I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
Wheelchair. Like I don't know. We'll see how that goes. There's so that's all the speculation based off like a half a second thing. But I mean,
so yeah, I do want to at some point in the very near future just delve full into theories about season 4.
Yeah, I'll I might have to run through season 3 again, but yeah, I'll do it. So yeah, I got nothing but time.
Okay.
Yeah, I got time.
Do you have time for video games?
Always. Are you kidding me?
Last little bit of news. Sony had, I think it was called the PlayStation Event 2021.
It was awesome.
They showed some stuff.
Yeah, they did.
Knights of the Old Republic Remake has officially been announced as a timed PS5 exclusive.
Yo, now I will say the exclusive part makes me sad, but
it's coming out like probably in 2023. It was not going to be in the PS4.
I know, but I mean, I know, and that's kind of what my brother said too, because I was like, why are they making all? I was like, well, I mean, this game's not, because like, I mean, the same thing with Spider-Man. Like, that's not even anytime soon. So like, by then, it's like, yeah, you got to get one. But it's also like,
hopefully they'll be in stock by then.
Seriously, why is that still happening? I don't understand.
It's a global chip shortage just based on supply chain failures due to COVID and just, whatever. Yeah, these consoles weren't ready to come out. They should have just.
That's what I'm saying. Well, again, money. So like, I get it, but like,
they're still selling extremely well, even though they aren't available.
Because I mean, they're only selling 3 at a time, but they're getting sold immediately. So I mean, they're still making money. But I digress. But yeah, by 2023, I mean, yeah, we'll probably need to upgrade. But again, everything will be good. that's gonna be really awesome. Knights of the Old Republic coming back just in general is awesome because one of the best Star Wars games ever made, just kind of forgotten about by, at least developers. The fans didn't forget because they're the real ones. But at the same time, it's like it's time to bring it back. And again, Old Republic, the Star Wars movie supposed to be about the High Republic or whatever, supposedly coming out. That could, at least similar-ish. So that's something that could coincide.
Yeah.
And just
Plus, Darth Revan is just such a cool character.
Yeah, so much like awesome stuff, and just not canon. It's Legends, but until they tell me to my face it's not canon, it's canon. I don't care. I think there was a Clone Wars deleted scene with Yoda with Raven in it, where they had Darth Bane and everything.
Yes.
I think that was a deleted scene. So as far as I'm concerned, that's canon enough.
I know the Darth Bane part was in the episode. That was that is canon. That was the only Sith Lord that he talked to.
Right, but I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I saw a deleted scene that had Revan also. So
okay.
If Filoni thinks it's canon, it's canon. The man is Star Wars right now. So yeah, but regardless, the game coming back is huge. I personally never played it, but I have many friends that did.
Exactly.
I think it was an Xbox or how did it?
I think it was PC. No,
something like
it.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Xbox only, because I know the original Mass Effect was only on Xbox 360, and that was also BioWare. So I wouldn't be surprised if KOTOR 1 was Xbox exclusive, but I'm not sure.
Right, I think it was Xbox, because I remember thinking of wanting this game and I couldn't get it for some reason, because I've always been a PlayStation guy. So
right,
my PS2 was just out of luck. But at the same time, now it's on PlayStation somehow.
Yeah.
So
first for a while, yeah.
Everything comes around full circle. But this is awesome for just Star Wars games in general. Because again, for a while there it was just Battlefront 2, that was it. And now we're getting Fallen Order. Now we're getting, we got Old Republic. Other games are coming out. There's probably gonna be a Fallen Order 2.
Fallen Order 2 has been confirmed. Star Wars Squadrons was good, but it's VR only. But still, it was apparently a good game.
And they're trying new things, which is really the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So keep going and this. And again, remaking this game, which means they're probably gonna remake other games too, which is ideal. Because again, we've always said, there's so much great stuff that if you just took it, brought it to this year, and then threw it out there, it would make so much money every time.
I also wouldn't be mad at all if they kind of did a Final Fantasy VII remake where they just redid the battle mechanics as well. Sure. Even if it doesn't have to be a 1-to-1 remake, just essentially, as long as you keep the story and general atmosphere, go crazy.
Don't add 10-15 hours of random side story that wasn't in the game, but
yeah.
You gotta sell it. I don't know. My brother's just really? It's so cool. Don't get me wrong.
Don't split it into 2 different games, possibly 3, depending on how they do it.
To be fair, the original was on, I think, 4 discs, but that was because PlayStation couldn't handle it. But
yeah,
at least it all came together when you buy it. You don't have that excuse anymore.
They have the cloud now. You
that's what I'm saying. With all the technology, with how big games are now, you have no excuse. But yeah, honestly, just a lot of games that really could benefit. And again, the community could benefit from taking these older things that were gems and then, just, polish them off, throw them back out there. Even with the remakes of things they've done with that, with remasters or remakes or whatever, those have all done well as far as I can tell. So,
I mentioned Mass Effect earlier. Mass Effect, the Mass Effect Trilogy remaster is doing really well. Yeah. People are really liking that. So sure, just keep it at
keep at it. I'm serious, but they will, maybe they won't, but I think this is a really good sign for Star Wars fans.
Oh yeah. Clearly Insomniac was a fantastic investment for for Sony. Not only are we getting the inevitable Spider-Man 2, which we'll talk more about in just a second.
Woo,
Freaking Wolverine.
dude. And the like most Wolverine looking trailer ever. Just bar in shambles. One guy sitting at the counter, just chilling.
The cowboy hat. Why not?
Yeah, because why not? Dude's coming up and he just don't even look, don't even see his face. Just balls come out. You're just
all
like,
you need.
yep.
Oh my goodness.
That's all you need. Because
Mm.
we've made a Wolverine game for as long as Wolverine's been a character.
Yeah, there actually was like a kind of decent one released for X-Men Origins Wolverine. With
yeah, I played that game. That's right.
Yeah, it's like I said, actually like kind of decent beat 'em up. So if X-Men Origins Wolverine can produce like actually a pretty decent game, Insomniac can make a good Wolverine game.
Man, dude, Insomniac's been busy, which I'm mad at him because
Yep.
That's a huge plus. Like, I'm really excited about this. And again, I like it because it's kind of like what they did with Spider-Man. It's not really based on one character or one specific storyline. It's kind of just, this character. This character is going on an adventure. You'd expect this character to go on. That is how we're doing this. There's no like in this timeline we're doing this exact story arc. It's kind of just it's like writing a movie and a game at the same time. Kind of, you're just doing your own thing.
There might be other X-Men involved. There might not. Who cares? Like, it's gonna be good regardless.
Like, really, like as long as like some version of Sabretooth is in it, that's all I really care. Like everyone else is kind of like whatever.
Yeah. Like I trust them. Like, I don't think Insomniac has ever made like a truly bad video game. Like, there's some Ratchet and Clanks that are like fine, but like recently they've been pretty on the ball. So yeah, like how do they make Miles Morales and Rift Apart and Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine all at the same time? Like,
they're busy. They've been busy, and again, they've been doing some serious stuff. I mean, they really want this to happen. They're really committed to making this work because I mean, they did those Spyro games too, and they brought them back, and like, it's been.
That wasn't actually Insomniac. That was that was Activision. Okay, same guys that did the Crash trilogy did that.
Right. Okay. No, they did the originals. I'm sorry, I got confused.
Yes.
But still, again, even in '98, like solid video game for a PlayStation 1. So like, they have a track record. But,
and and with Spider-Man 2, literally the only thing everyone wanted was like Spider-Man 1 is the best Spider-Man game ever made. Only thing that'll make it better, Venom. And
right on cue. There's Venom. There's probably, I think there was like a Kraven the Hunter like tease, like narrating that because the way he was sounding, I was like, okay, so that's probably gonna happen. Yeah. And again, for spoilers for you guys who haven't played the first game, even though it's going on 3 years old, pretty much like I think this week. But random. But pretty going on 3 years old. But there's like a huge like Green Goblin-esque Easter egg in the main storyline, so that might also be a thing, which is again awesome. But and you've got Peter Parker, you've got Miles Morales. It looks like there's going to be a lot of like either co-playing, kind of like with the Arkham games or kind of stuff like that, or something like that. You might
have co-op could be great. Co-op,
dude. Imagine like online co-op with like, oh my goodness, that would be.
And like, especially if like it's coming out in 2023, so they'll have plenty of time to utilize the full features of the PS5.
Right.
Imagine you're one person online is playing as Miles, one person is playing as Peter, and like you can both essentially go throughout the entire New York with no load times, like interact like taking on separate crimes, separate things at the same time, and like interacting in ways like that just sounds so cool.
So beautiful. Because theoretically you totally could, because it's not like you have to like unless you do the fast travel. There's no like load times. There's no really waiting. You kind of just swing
Yeah.
wherever you want. So yeah, they just dude, that would be the greatest thing ever. Like I would cry. I would buy 2 PS5s just to do that. Honestly.
Yep. Like so like after E3 this past year, I was like kind of teetering on the edge of potentially in the like not now or not even like in like within 6 months, but like at some point in the future, probably getting an Xbox Series something just because Game Pass is so enticing.
Right.
$15 to play whatever.
Yeah.
But like Wolverine, that's not coming to Xbox. Like,
man. That's what I'm saying. Wolverine, Spyro, not to mention other PlayStation games that already exist.
God of War Ragnarok is coming out soon. Like it's coming on PS4 too, but like it's still
like I don't know, man. Like again, I literally said less than a week ago there's no reason to get a PS5, and now I'm eating my words like so like,
you'll have like at least a year and a half to
yeah, I know. Like I've got time to save up my quarters, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, like they're not making it easy because now they're gonna have spike. Because again, it's like, okay, I want like I saw so many games. I'm like, like usually when there's one of these things, there's like 1-2 games. I'm like, I could probably buy that. There's like 4 or 5 games. I'm like, I'm buying that. I'm definitely Wolverine. Oh, add to cart. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't even hesitate.
Star Wars. Yep.
Yeah, Star Wars. Like, have to. Like, it's required. Search purposes. Like, even that Guardian game, which I'm sure we'll probably talk about a little bit. I mean, that looked pretty sick. Like,
I still don't love that you can only play as Star-Lord.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. I'm not feeling it as much as I was hoping I would, but yeah, like I'm sure it's gonna be at least decent. I just not.
I mean, what's enticing to me is that they are fully going balls to the walls with the like space stuff. Like it looks absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what anything is, and it's great. So like that's going on, and the colors are like kind of wild. Like, I was like, wow, like this is kind of hurts to look at almost, but not in a good way. Kind of, it's weird to describe. But I don't know. I'm like that. Probably not like when it comes out, but like if the price goes down after a while, I'd probably snag that game.
Yeah, and most games that aren't made by Nintendo kind of drop in price within like a couple of months. So by January should be like $30.
Yeah, which is so Nintendo, they know their value, which they're not wrong.
Yeah. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still $60.
Still $60 from the
8-year-old games.
From the Wii U version. The same game, and yet the price does not falter. Which, to be honest, it's still people are still gonna buy it. So.
Yeah. Was there any other highlights from the PlayStation? I can't say direct because it's not technically direct. PlayStation presentation that
thing. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I thought of. I know
because those were the main headlines that I had written down. I haven't had a chance to actually watch it.
Right. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched snippets because some of it was kind of unnecessary, but that was pretty much all I had. Yeah, it was just mostly. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was it.
Okay. So yeah, video games are looking good. Movies are looking good. Comics are just everything is going. It's going good.
It's a good time to be a nerd.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it always is, but it's like this is the harvest time.
And like we're going into that time of the year where just everything's getting released. Like, if you remember from E3, Metroid Dread is coming out in less than a month. And like, I came on watch it for 19 years. Finally coming out. Oh my goodness.
Best feeling where it's like, you know that all your waiting's finally gonna pay off. It's like it's not like it's actually happening. It's not a dream this time. Like, it's not just some troll on the internet. It's actually happening.
The last Smash Bros. Character is going to be announced at some point this month, probably. I'm not ready. Like,
Who could have?
I don't.
Do you have an idea?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to speculate. Like, I have people I kind of want it to be, but it's like I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't even want to like throw that into the universe because if I do, it's not going to happen. Like,
fair. That's fair. I understand. Let it be what it is.
It's going to be exciting, whoever it is. Like, even if I don't, like, I suck with Kazuya. I cannot play that character, but it's cool that he's in the game. So.
Very cool. No, it's so funny because like I play with him in Tekken and like the moves are the same and it's so weird because it's like he's like, can I do that? Yeah, yes, I can do lightning screw uppercuts still. It's exactly the same way as it was on the PlayStation 2 somehow. And it's just
my fingers just don't work that way. I already had a hard enough time playing Ryu and Ryukin and Terry, and I just my fingers just don't work.
It's a different type. It's a whole different because he's so like different compared to all these characters. He's like still in his game and everyone's doing these crazy moves. It's just like, all right, but I mean, again, it's just part of it, you know. It's just I think more characters should be like that. Like everyone kind of plays how they play in their game. Which, like, granted, everyone's not a fighting game character, obviously, but like I think that would make the game. It would kind of add a little more variety.
Yeah, like Kirby, I think feels very like he does in his games. That's kind of about it, as far as like characters that feel like they're straight out of their games, which I think is fine.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it's not like Smash is bad. Obviously, it's amazing, but it's like let's not act like this isn't quality gaming right here, people. But yeah, it's I don't know. The new character you said sometime next week, or what did you say?
There's a rumor that sometime in September there's going to be a direct. There usually is some kind of Nintendo presentation in September.
I was. I'm pretty. Even I kind of feel like that's a thing, and I don't even like. I'm not even religiously watching. I'm like, yeah, I think September sounds about right, but like,
so
I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe it'll be something awesome. Maybe it'll just be another Fire Emblem character. I mean, it's possible.
I like all the Fire Emblem characters.
They are fun. They are fun. There's just, I mean, considering there's what 80 something characters, like
more than 8 of them, literally a 10th is Fire Emblem. Like they're not even that many Pokemon. Actually, there are if you count all 3 in Pokemon Trainer, but still, like I would be way down for another Pokemon. Like go for it. I'd be down for another Mario character.
Maybe one of the new ones. Maybe who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What?
Oh, I can't say it. That's gonna ruin it. If I say it, then it won't happen.
Okay, we'll say it off. We'll reconvene after.
As long as I don't say it on the podcast.
It's not recorded out there.
They don't need to know, but we'll know.
Like 3 years from now, I'm gonna rewatch this, like just as like on my way to work or something, because I do that sometimes. And you're like, who was it? I don't remember who he said. Was it even that? I don't like.
Did that actually happen? Did it happen? I swear. But seriously, but no. Smash, even after years of it being, I mean, you know, like we've been talking about this game, and it's great, it's awesome, and they're still adding characters.
Yep.
The fact that we've, you know, it's like
this will be the last one. I'm not ready.
You know, unless they decide, you know what, we want another. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no. Give Sakurai his break. He's done.
I say that, but
he's
like,
been working on Smash for 9 years now, like consistently since 2013. I think is when, actually probably 2012 is when the development for Smash Wii U really kicked off. So yeah, he needs a break. He needs a break. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
true.
I mean, it's well earned. So I'm not.
I mean, the amount of characters that are just like in this game, like it is. I can't imagine like getting the game from the beginning and like starting out with just like what is it, like 10 characters or something? Like
start out with 8.
Yeah, and just getting new characters for like a month. Like
that is one little thing that does kind of annoy me about the DLC is that, like, let's say you do start up an entire new save file, but you buy the game with the DLC. You would start the game with the 8, and then the other 11 DLC characters are also just there on the roster, like when you start the game. You don't have to fight them to
Okay.
unlock them. They just show up.
Yeah, that's
You just
kind of
have them. I don't love that.
yeah, I don't either. Because I feel like you should still have to unlock them. Because like, you
Yeah, like
earn it,
it's not
kind of.
like you already unlocked all these other characters. It's not like you buy it, but you don't have access to it. Just play the game normally and you'll get it. Like
Yeah, but
whatever.
then again, I could see the flip mode too, where it's like I can't believe I have to unlock every single character just for this one character I paid for. You know what I mean? So I kind of see that too. But
I mean, I could even see a thing where it's like there's like a DLC fighter section in the or on in some mode somewhere that you have to like go in to fight them individually. Like it could be like directly fighting them in order to get them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I think they can make it work.
That's a good idea. Yeah, you could probably make it work. But at the same time, I mean, if you haven't unlocked the characters yet, I mean, what have you been doing the last
Exactly.
3-4 years?
Mhm.
Like you just
3
never
years.
got to it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I don't think anyone I've played with in the last like couple of years has not had pretty much not everyone on the screen. So
Mhm. Yeah.
but, details. But Link's always available, so that's fine with me.
Yeah, 3 links if you want to switch it up
I
a little
know.
bit. I'd be down for a 4th link.
They would too. That would be, they totally would too. Just to be like,
I'd be down for a 3rd Mario. I'd be down for a Raichu just to complete the set. Because why not?
Fine. Yeah, if you complete the evolution, like you might as well. I mean, there's so many they could do. They could just pick some random character from some game that you didn't even think was going to be in this game. Because I mean, if we can get Steve, we can get anyone. So, like,
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Like, honestly, because it's like literally like no reason he should be in this game, and yet
Sephiroth, a character that has literally never touched a Nintendo console ever.
nope.
Why not?
Join the club of other characters who have also never.
Cloud technically has.
Really?
There's like some spin-off game on the 3DS that like had Cloud as like a guest character in like some Final Fantasy like spin-off thing.
Okay.
So Cloud technically has touched Nintendo before. Same with Kazuya. And I think Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was on the Wii U and maybe some other stuff before, but
oh, come on. Tekken Tag Tournament. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it could be anyone. It could be, it could be me. Like, I don't know. What?
I would like to think you would tell me if you were in Smash, but
I wouldn't even know. That's the thing. I would just try. You're like, you're in Smash. Really? Am I good? Like, where am I on the chart?
You're like
am I at least B tier? You're at. I want as long as I'm at least B tier, I'm okay. I like to think I would be. Oh no, I'd be total. My recovery would be so bad. My recovery would be like, oh.
Does if like one of those things where it's like if you use it while you're on the stage, and you hit someone, it deals a ton of damage, but like it gets you actually no recovery.
Yeah, it's like critical one shot. It's like the Jigglypuff, just like what? How did you? Definitely how mine would go, but. Yeah, I mean, we'll find out eventually. It'll probably be something epic. I'm just sad that there's only gonna be one last character reveal trailer because those things are always awesome.
Yep.
But
well, is what it is. But yeah, it's gonna be good. Is there anything else that you want to discuss or bring up before we sign off today?
That's all I got. Life is good.
Life is good. Yep. Oh, with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care, everybody.